Hey guys, this is Pawan, and I want to give a quick preview of the Vyuh framework for React. Now, the Vyuh, as you know, is a framework for creating modular, scalable, CMS-driven applications that allows you to grow into large super apps without, breaking any sweat. So here I'm setting up the Sanity Studio with the features all plugged in through the Vyuh plugin, and a similar setup is required on the Next.js app, where I'm going to create the counterparts for all of the schema components, and they're all rendered using Vyuh. And we use the plugin, which is basically our content plugin that talks to Sanity via the provider. The individual pages of the Next.js app have been set up using a slug, and the page itself has the route loader component that knows how to load from the particular path. And it's also enabled for live changes with the live property set to true. Now, with that setup out of the way, let's quickly focus on the studio side, where you have all of the page set up with all the components, and you can see them rendered on the right-hand side inside our Next.js app. And the components follow the same structure and order like you see on the studio. Now, since this is our introductory video on Vyuh for React, let's add a little banner at the top and talk about the introductory post that we created on our blog. So let's go back to the studio, look at the marketing feature, and add the banner component right at the top. We'll put in our blog post title, which is Introduction to Vyuh for React, and then put a nice icon like a rocket for that, and also add a link, which will be the read more link to the blog post. Here you can also see the extensibility about using actions to link to the post itself. Actions are yet again an extensible part of the framework that allows you to create custom ones and put them inside your own feature. So here I'll link them up, so now you can click on it and go to my blog post directly. For a marketing site like this, the layout doesn't seem right. You see this extra title showing up at the top, there's some gap for the different elements on the sides. That's not the kind of layout we need. Let's fix that by choosing a layout that is very germane for the marketing pages. And that's again an extensibility part of our framework, where you can go in and plug in your own layouts for the routes for your own inside your own feature. So here I have a full page route layout that I've used to construct the marketing page. And you can already see the changes happening live on the right-hand side. So now we have a site that looks more like a page. While I'm at it, I'm also going to change things on the banner to become displacable, and you'll see that action resulting in a cross icon showing up on the right-hand side. And it can also play around with the layouts for the banner itself and pick a brand color, which is probably more closer to what you want to see on the site. So now let's quickly look at the header, which can be made sticky so that it gets this nice translucent and transparent effect with the blurred background. And we'll also add the theme button on the right-hand side so that we can switch themes for the site. And all of this is possible because we have set up the layout to include all of these controls. And this can be custom controls that you can also create for yourself for your own layouts. They're not limited to what we're showing you right now. And with those toggles turned on, you can now see the translucent sticky effect of the header, and also the theme button, which can now be used to switch between different themes. Now, one thing you may have already noticed is that while I'm making changes from the studio, you're seeing the changes happening live inside our Next.js app. And that's because we're hooked into the live content API of Sanity to make this happen. And to make this more obvious, let's go into the core features section and quickly make some changes to the subtitle. And here, as I type inside the subtitle, you will see the changes showing up on the Next.js side almost immediately. I'll also make one quick change to the header to include an extra link under the docs submenu to add one for the community showcase. So let's quickly do that by going into the header and then going to the submenu for docs and adding the link over there. Now let's explore a few of the features of Vyuh for React. And I've done that by creating a separate page called /React, which I have on the studio side, and we can quickly navigate to that. Now, while the framework can definitely be used for creating large-scale apps and organizing things by features, you also get the benefit of quick prototyping. So let me go into the groups section of the React page and quickly open up the layout for this to switch between the grid and carousel layouts. And as expected, you can quickly see that I have switched to the carousel layout just like that, while you're in the flow of observing and modifying the website. Of course, I still prefer the grid, so let me bring it back. And almost instantaneously, you will see the layout switching back to the grid. Now, if you scroll a little bit, you also see that we have support for portable text, which is the format for rich text inside Sanity Studio. And also you can see it rendered live inside our React website. Now we have full support for it in an extensible manner. So any feature can go in and add custom blocks inside the portable text. So here you can see the API content block being added, which allows you to give custom configurations to talk to any API and pull in the content and show it in line within the portable text. So here you can see me switching some configurations, and those changes happen live on the website. Now these configurations are completely customizable. You can go in and add in your own configuration and extend it in your own feature. And once you inject your own components inside the portable text, they'll actually show up inside the editor itself, where you can see the dropdown for the custom components that you have included. And on a similar note, the components that you include from your feature can also be added to the specific places such as the region items, where you can see them now organized according to the feature with the custom set of components that you want to include. And this is a nice way to kind of extend the overall studio capabilities and add components where you think they are applicable and extend it in from any feature. In fact, the extensibility also runs cross-feature, where one feature can extend items from another feature. Now, one last thing I want to touch upon is this concept of conditional elements. The framework allows you to create custom conditions and use that to branch between one or more possibilities. This can be used for content blocks inside a page, or even pages itself can be conditionally branched depending on a runtime condition. So here you can see me using the Boolean condition to show whether an empty page or the React page. And this is a nice way to kind of create segmentation for different parts of your application and show different pages for different users. It's almost like an A/B test running live for you, where the custom condition can be anything and as complex as you need it to be. So here I'm just delaying the conditional evaluation, so you can see the simulated delay and the changing the way the page also loads. So that's a quick overview of the Vyuh framework for React. It now allows you to create native web applications in React and use the same CMS to drive both the mobile apps and the React websites. So giving you all the superpowers to create and scale your applications from a simple MVP to a large super app.